The world smells of salt and bounty. A low tide has exposed the river's great secret, a sprawling bed of mussels, their blue-black shells glistening in the late afternoon sun. For this coastal clan of early Homo sapiens, it is a discovery of monumental importance. They have found a food source that does not run, does not fight back, and is seemingly inexhaustible. For weeks, they have feasted, their bellies full, a rare and welcome respite from the constant gnawing hunger of their lives. Great piles of empty shells accumulate near their camp. A growing refuse pile, the first midden, an archaeological testament to their sudden prosperity. This is a golden age, a moment of profound security in the long, brutal epic of human evolution. Kale is the architect of this new prosperity. He is the clan's sharpest eye, the one who first noticed the patterns of the Titan, the dark patches beneath the water. He's a master gatherer, his hands quick and sure as he pries the shellfish from the rocks. He teaches the young ones how to find the largest mussels, how to crack them open with a sharp stone. He is a hero of a quiet, practical sort, his intelligence a vital asset to the community. Tonight, as the clan gathers around the fire, the mood is celebratory. The scent of roasting shellfish mingles with the wood smoke. Laughter, a rare sound, echoes in the twilight. Kale eats his fill, his strong teeth making quick work of the tender meat. He leans back against a smooth boulder, a feeling of deep satisfaction washing over him. Then, a strange sensation, a tingling on his lips, a sudden, maddening itch that begins on his palms and spreads like fire up his arms. He scratches, first casually, then with a frantic urgency. The other clan members watch him, their laughter dying in their throats. Red, angry welts are blooming on his skin, rising from his flesh as if drawn by an invisible artist. A wave of dizziness hits him. The firelight begins to swim before his eyes. A tightness, like a rope being cinched, constricts his chest. His breath catches, a thin, wheezing sound. He tries to speak, to ask for help, but his tongue feels thick, swollen, a foreign object in his own mouth. Panic, cold and absolute, seizes him. He claws at his throat, his eyes wide with a terror that no one understands. He is being attacked, but there is no predator. He is being poisoned, but he has eaten the same food as everyone else. The enemy is not in the world outside, but has erupted from within his own body. The clan stares, frozen in a state of horrified confusion. Their greatest provider, a man in the prime of his life, is being disassembled before their eyes, and the weapon is his own breath, his own skin. The clan's world shrinks to the space around the writhing, gasping form of Kale. Their practical, cause and effect understanding of reality is shattered. They know wounds from a leopard's claw. They know the fever from a tainted waterhole. They know the slow, wasting death of starvation. This is none of those. This is a violent, internal chaos, a betrayal by the very body that is supposed to sustain life. It is an event that has no place in their catalogue of known dangers. This portrait of prehistoric life is about to be redrawn in the colors of a new, inexplicable fear. The shaman, an old woman named Mara, pushes through the ring of horrified onlookers. Her authority comes from her knowledge of the unseen, her ability to interpret the world's hidden grammar. She carries a small pouch of dried herbs, the clan's entire pharmacopoeia. She has remedies for infected wounds, for aching joints, for calming a fevered mind. She kneels beside Kale, her face a mask of intense concentration. His breathing is a ragged, high-pitched whistle. His lips and eyelids are swollen to grotesque proportions. He is drowning on dry land. Mara tries to force a poultice of crushed leaves into his mouth, but his throat is closing. He convulses, his back arching, his hands clawing at the invisible spear in his windpipe. The shaman's medicine is useless. The physical world offers no solution. Her mind, like the minds of all her people, must seek an answer in the only other place it can look, the world of spirits. This is the emotional turning point. The moment when the failure of practical knowledge becomes the seed of a new belief. Her understanding of the natural world has reached its limit, and what lies beyond is the realm of shamanism. She rises, her eyes no longer looking at Kale, but through him, at the dark, murmuring river. Her voice, when she speaks, is a no, chanting cry. She is not speaking to the clan, but to the forces she believes are at work. She tells of the river spirit, a powerful, ancient entity, content to share its bounty. But now, she cries, the clan has grown greedy. They have taken too much, too quickly. Their gratitude has soured into arrogance. The spirit is angry. Kale, the one who led them to this bounty, has been chosen to bear the punishment. The invisible spear is the spirit's sanga, a curse delivered to the very gift they had abused. The clan listens, their terror finding a focus. An enemy they can't see is horrifying, but an angry spirit is something they can comprehend. The shaman's explanation is a container for their fear, giving it shape and meaning. The wheezing gasps of the dying man are no longer a random biological event, but the righteous judgment of a vengeful god. The shellfish, once a symbol of their good fortune, is now a vessel of a terrible power. The shaman raises her hands and declares the food forbidden. It is a taboo, a sacred and inviolable restriction born in a moment of terror and confusion. In the firelight, the heaps of glistening black shells no longer look like a feast. They look like the teeth of a monster. Kale's struggle ends. His last, shuddering breath is a soft sigh that is swallowed by the crackle of the fire. A profound, heavy silence descends upon the clan. They stare at the still form of the man who, only an hour before, had been the embodiment of their security. Now, he is a terrifying testament to a new and unpredictable danger. His death is not a familiar grief, like the loss of a hunter to a lion. It is a mystery, a chilling event that has rewritten the rules of their world. The benevolent river has shown its teeth. The shaman, Mura, directs the ritual that follows. Kale's body is not left for the hyenas. He is to be treated with the fearful respect due to one who has been touched by a spirit. Two young hunters carry his body to a small cave overlooking the river, a place that will now be considered sacred and dangerous. They do not carry him with the sorrow of a lost kin, but with the cautious dread of handling a cursed object. They place him inside, his body curled as if in sleep, and the shaman covers him with a fine red powder. This ochre burial is not an act of love, but of appeasement, a desperate offering to the angry river spirit. They seal the cave with a wall of heavy stones, entombing not just a body, but their own innocence. The next morning, the clan turns its back on the river. They abandon the piles of shells, the easy feasting. The brief golden age, the shaman's new oral tradition has already taken root, a story told in hushed, fearful tones around the now meager fire. The story of Kale and the river spirit's revenge will be passed down through generations, a powerful lesson about hubris and the hidden dangers of the world. The shellfish will be forever forbidden, a food source erased from their collective memory and replaced by a potent symbol of divine wrath. This hard choice, to abandon a vital source of protein, is a testament to the power of belief. A single, misunderstood tragedy has permanently altered their culture and their diet. Their lives become harder again. The gnawing hunger returns, but they have found a new equilibrium. It is a world governed not just by the visible threats of predators and starvation, but by the invisible laws of taboo and ritual. The fear of the unknown has been contained, codified into a story that can be taught and a rule that can be followed. The archaeological record will one day show this moment as an inexplicable shift, a thriving coastal community suddenly abandoning its primary food source. The bones and shells in the midden will tell a story of prosperity, while the layers of earth above it will tell a story of sudden, drastic change. But the archaeological record cannot preserve the terror, the confusion, and the birth of the belief that caused it. They have traded sustenance for certainty, a harsh but sustainable bargain with a world they are only just beginning to explain. In the deep silence of the sealed cave, the true cause of Kale's death, a simple, tragic betrayal by his own immune system, is lost to time. What survives is the story. This event, a footnote in the vast medical history of our species, marks a profound turning point in the development of the human mind. It is the moment when the absence of a scientific explanation created the necessity of a mythological one. The shaman's invention of the river spirit was not a lie, but an act of communal altruism, a desperate attempt to impose order on a chaotic and terrifying event. She created a narrative that, while factually wrong, was culturally vital. It gave the clan a rule to follow, a way to avoid the same fate, a way to make their world feel predictable again. We are the direct descendants of this impulse. Every myth, every religion, every conspiracy theory is born from the same deep human need to fill a vacuum of understanding with a story. We have traded vengeful spirits for complex proteins and histamines. But the fundamental fear of our own body's betrayal remains. The ghost of Kale is a reminder that for most of hominid history, the most powerful force shaping our culture was not what we knew, but what we were forced to imagine in the face of the terrifying unknown. The first law was not written in stone, but in fear. What happens when the fear is not of the unknown, but of each other?